Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real. How many of you wake up feeling like you just got hit by a truck? You roll over, smack the alarm clock, and immediately feel behind. Your mind is already racing about everything you didn't finish yesterday, what's waiting for you today, and before you've even gotten out of bed, you're stressed. Sound familiar? I get it. Life is chaotic. But let me tell you something, you do not have to start your mornings in a state of panic. The way you wake up is completely within your control, and it all starts with what you do the night before. If you want to wake up focused, recharged, and in control, you need to master your evenings. And today, I'm giving you 5 habits that will change the game for you. First, shut down the mental noise. Your brain is not a machine. It needs a transition between work mode and rest mode. But what do most of us do? We stay glued to our screens, answering emails, scrolling through social media, or watching television until we can barely keep our eyes open. And then we wonder why our minds won't shut off when we finally go to bed. You need a wind down ritual. Maybe that's putting your phone away an hour before bed, dimming the lights, or listening to calming music. Whatever it is, make it a habit. Because if you don't tell your brain it's time to rest, it's going to keep running like a hamster on a wheel. Second, plan tomorrow, tonight. Listen, nothing kills focus faster than waking up with no idea what's coming next. You grab your phone, start reacting to whatever's in your inbox, and suddenly the day is running you instead of you running the day. Stop doing that. Take 5 minutes, just 5, to write down the top 3 things you need to accomplish tomorrow. Get it out of your head and onto paper. That way, when you wake up, you already know where to start. Clarity equals power. Third, protect your sleep like your life depends on it. Because guess what? It does. You can't be focused, productive, or in control of anything if you're running on empty. Sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. But most people treat it like an afterthought. They stay up too late, sleep with the television on, or wake up in the middle of the night because they were scrolling TikTok until 2 a.m. Listen, if you take one thing from this speech, let it be this. Prioritize your sleep. Turn off screens. Keep your bedroom cool. Go to bed at the same time every night. Do whatever it takes to protect those hours. Your future self will thank you. Fourth, move your body, even just a little. You don't need to hit the gym for an hour. A 5-minute stretch, a short walk after dinner, even standing up and rolling your shoulders, it all matters. Your body holds on to stress, and movement helps release it. Plus, light activity before bed can actually help you sleep better. So stop making excuses and just move. And fill your mind with something positive. This is huge. What you consume before bed directly impacts how you feel when you wake up. If the last thing you do is watch the news or scroll through social media arguments, your brain is soaking that up. Instead, read something inspiring. Listen to a podcast that lifts you up. Journal about one thing you're grateful for. Feed your mind the good stuff. Because when you do, you wake up in a completely different mental state that's clear, energized, and ready to take on the day. So here's the challenge. Start tonight. Don't just listen to this and forget about it. Pick one habit and commit to it. Because when you start owning your evenings, you start owning your life. And that is how you get back on track. Your brain is not designed to be on all the time. It needs a transition, a signal that says, hey, it's time to slow down now. But here's the problem. Most of us never give it that signal. Instead, we go full speed ahead, answering emails, scrolling through social media, binge watching television shows, or worrying about the million things we didn't get done today. The reason you can't fall asleep easily or wake up feeling like you didn't rest at all is because your brain is still in overdrive. It's stuck in work mode, stress mode, or entertainment mode. And that's not an accident. It's because you never close the tabs. Think about it. If you had 25 browser tabs open on your computer with music playing from one, videos from another, notifications popping up, your computer would slow down, right? Your brain works the same way. If you don't shut down properly at night, all those open mental tabs keep running in the background, stealing your rest, draining your energy, and leaving you feeling groggy and overwhelmed the next day. So what do? You create a wind down ritual, something that tells your brain, we're done for the day. it's time to reset. And before you start thinking, I don't have time for that, let me tell you, you don't have time not to do it. Because if you don't control the way you transition into rest, your exhaustion, stress, and anxiety will control you. Let's break it down. Your wind down routine should have 3 key elements: disconnect, decompress, and prepare. First, disconnect. Your devices are one of the biggest reasons your brain stays wired at night. The blue light from screens messes with your melatonin levels, making it harder for your body to recognize that it's time to sleep. But it's not just about the light, it's the content you're consuming. If you're scrolling through emails, your brain is still in work mode. If you're doom scrolling the news, your brain is on high alert. If you're watching an intense television show, your nervous system is fired up. None of that is helping you wind down. So, here's what you do. Set a screen curfew. 1 hour before bed, turn off all screens, phone, laptop, television. If you absolutely must check something, switch your phone to grayscale mode, dim the brightness, and limit your time. But ideally, cut it off. Your future self will thank you. Next, decompress. Your brain has been carrying stress all day. If you don't release it, it will follow you into the night. This is why so many people wake up at 3 a.m. with racing thoughts. They never process their stress before bed. The best way to do this? Find a ritual that helps you unwind. This could be journaling, writing down your thoughts so they're out of your head. It could be deep breathing or meditation, something as simple as taking 10 slow breaths in and out. It could be listening to calming music or stretching your body. The point is to give your nervous system a chance to reset before sleep. And no, pouring a glass of wine and calling it relaxation doesn't count. Alcohol actually disrupts your sleep cycle. So if you're relying on it to wind down, you're setting yourself up for poor quality rest. Choose something that actually helps you let go of the day, not just numb from it. Finally, prepare. Most people go to bed thinking about everything they need to do tomorrow. Their brain is spinning with to-do lists, worries, and responsibilities. And that's a recipe for restlessness. Instead of letting tomorrow's stress creep into tonight, offload it. Write down the top 3 things you need to focus on tomorrow. Just 3. That's it. By doing this, you're giving your brain permission to let go of the mental clutter. You're telling yourself, I don't have to think about this right now because it's already handled. That way, when you wake up, you're not starting the day in a fog, wondering what to do next. You already know. And that single act of preparation can completely shift how you feel in the morning. Look, I know life is busy. I know it's tempting to just crash into bed after a long day and hope for the best. But hope is not a strategy. If you want to wake up feeling recharged, focused, and in control, it starts with how you end your day. And the good news, you don't need a 2-hour routine. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to start. You wake up in the morning, and what's the first thing you do? For most people, it's grabbing their phone and diving straight into emails, social media, and messages. Before their feet even hit the floor, they're already reacting to the world instead of running their day. And that's a problem. Because here's the truth. If you start your day without a plan, you're already behind. The moment you wake up, your brain is searching for direction. If you don't give it a plan, it's going to latch on to whatever grabs its attention, first usually someone else's priorities, distractions, or stressors. And that's why so many people feel overwhelmed before they even get out of bed. They're waking up with no clarity, just a to-do list that feels a mile long and 100 little fires to put out. But it doesn't have to be this way. If you want to wake up focused and in control, you must plan your day the night before. And no, I'm not talking about scheduling every minute like a robot. I'm talking about taking just 5 minutes before bed to set your top 3 priorities for tomorrow. That's it. Not a full agenda, not a 20-item checklist, just 3 things. Why? Because when you try to do everything, you get nothing done. But when you focus on the most important things, you move the needle forward. Now, let's talk about how to do this effectively. A lot of people struggle with prioritization. They'll write down a massive to-do list that includes everything from respond to emails to clean the entire house to figure out my life. That's not a plan, that's a stress bomb. The key is to identify what actually matters, what will make the biggest impact, what will move you closer to your goals, what's truly urgent. Those are your top 3. Let's say you're working on a project at work, trying to improve your health, and managing family responsibilities. Instead of listing 10 vague things, your top 3 might look like this. 1, finish the first draft of the project proposal. 2, go for a 30-minute workout. 3, call and schedule a doctor's appointment. That's it. 3 clear, specific tasks that, if completed, will make your day feel successful. And guess what? If you finish them early, you can always tackle more. But the point is to create clarity, not chaos. Now, once you've identified your top 3, you need to write them down, not just think about them, actually put them on paper. Why? Because writing things down helps your brain process them as real. It's no longer just floating around in your head. It's a commitment. And when you wake up and see those 3 things waiting for you, you won't waste time figuring out where to start. You'll already know. But here's where people get it wrong. They assume planning the night before will make them feel more stressed. They think, if I look at everything I have to do, I'll just be overwhelmed. Wrong. The opposite happens when you take 5 minutes to plan. You actually relieve stress because you're telling your brain, I've got this under control. You're offloading the mental clutter so your mind doesn't have to keep looping through your responsibilities all night. Instead of lying in bed thinking, oh no, what if I forget to send that email? Asterisk, you can tell yourself, no worries, it's written down. It'll get done. Asterisk. And that helps you sleep better. Speaking of sleep, another mistake people make is planning their day in the morning. Sure, it's better than nothing. But here's why doing it the night before is so much better. In the morning, your brain is still warming up. Your willpower is lower, your decision-making isn't as sharp, and you're more likely to get distracted before you even begin. But at night, when you're winding down, you have the mental space to think clearly. You can make smart choices about what actually matters. And when you wake up, you can immediately shift into action instead of wasting precious time figuring sleep is not a luxury. It's not something you get around to when you finally have time. It's the foundation of everything your focus, your energy, your mood, your ability to show up and do the things that matter. And yet, most people treat sleep like an afterthought. They sacrifice it for work, for late night scrolling, for one more episode of that show they've already seen 3 times. Then they wake up exhausted, hit snooze 5 times, and drag themselves through the day, wondering why they can't focus, why they feel irritable, why their body feels like it's running on fumes. Here's the truth. If you want to wake up feeling recharged and in control, you must start treating sleep like a non-negotiable. Because guess what? Your body is keeping score. Every night you cut corners on sleep, you're paying the price the next day. And when that becomes a habit, you're operating in a constant state of exhaustion, thinking that's just normal. It's not. You are designed to sleep well, and when you do, everything else in your life improves. Your focus sharpens, your productivity skyrockets, your emotions stabilize, and you have the energy to actually enjoy your life instead of just surviving it. So let's get serious about this. If you're tired of waking up groggy, running on caffeine, and feeling behind before the day even starts, then it's time to take control of your evenings and protect your sleep. And it starts with breaking the habits that are sabotaging you. First, let's talk about screens, the #1 sleep killer. You know this, but you're still doing it lying in bed, scrolling through your phone, thinking, just 5 more minutes. Asterisk. Suddenly, it's been an hour and now your brain is overstimulated. Your melatonin levels are suppressed. And instead of feeling tired, you feel wired. The blue light from your phone is sending a signal to your brain that it's still daytime, which means your body isn't preparing for sleep, it's fighting it. And if you're watching intense videos, reading stressful news, or answering emails, you're also spiking your cortisol, your stress hormone, making it even harder to wind down. You have to break this cycle. 1 hour before bed, cut off screens. No excuses. Put your phone in another room if you have to. Replace that habit with something that actually helps you sleep, reading, journaling, listening to calming music. Your brain will thank you. Next, let's talk about consistency. Your body thrives on rhythm. If you're going to bed at 10 p.m. one night and 1 a.m. the next, your body has no idea what's going on. It needs consistency to regulate your sleep cycle. The goal, go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day, guys, even on weekends. Because when you do, your body learns when to start producing melatonin and when to wake you up naturally. That means better sleep, fewer groggy mornings, and way more energy. Then there's your environment. Your bedroom should be a sleep sanctuary, not a second office or an entertainment hub. The best sleep happens in a cool, dark, and quiet room. That means lowering the temperature. Your body sleeps better in cooler conditions. Blocking out light, blackout curtains are a game changer. And eliminating noise. If you live in a noisy area, get a white noise machine. And let's talk about your bed. When was the last time you upgraded your mattress or pillows? If you're tossing and turning all night, your sleep setup might be part of the problem. Invest in your sleep. It's worth it. Now, let's address the people who think they can just catch up on sleep later. It doesn't work like that. You can't cheat sleep. You can't run on 5 hours all week and expect to make it up on the weekend. Your body doesn't store sleep like a bank account. Every time you cut your sleep short, you're building up a sleep debt. And that debt affects everything, your reaction time, your immune system, your ability to make decisions. Most people wake up feeling behind before they've even started their day. They roll over, grab their phone, and immediately start reacting to emails, to social media, to the endless flood of things demanding their attention. And that's the problem. They're reacting, not leading. They're letting the world set the tone for their day instead of deciding for themselves how they want to show up. And it all starts the night before. If you want to wake up feeling in control, with clarity and focus, you need to create an intentional shutdown process in the evening. Your brain needs a signal that says, we're done for the day, we're closing the loop, we're setting ourselves up for success tomorrow. And if you don't do this, guess what? Your brain doesn't shut off. Instead, it keeps running in the background, replaying conversations, stressing over unfinished tasks, worrying about what's ahead. That's why you lie in bed exhausted but unable to sleep. Your mind is still open for business. The key to breaking this cycle? A structured nighttime reflection. A simple 5-minute practice that lets you review your day, acknowledge your progress, and set yourself up for a focused, productive tomorrow. Because when you consciously close the day, your brain stops carrying it into the next one. So how do you do this? 3 steps: reflect, release, and reset. First, reflect. Instead of ending your day feeling like you didn't do enough, take a moment to recognize what did go well. Your brain is wired to focus on problems that's part of survival. But if you don't train it to see progress, you'll always feel like you're falling short. Before bed, write down 3 wins from the day. They don't have to be huge. Maybe you had a great conversation with a friend. Maybe you stayed consistent with your workout. Maybe you made progress on a project. Acknowledge it. Give yourself credit. When you do this, you're not just boosting your confidence, you're reprogramming your brain to notice your progress instead of constantly dwelling on what's missing. Next, release. If you go to bed with a racing mind, It's because your brain is holding on to unfinished business. The solution? Get it out of your head and onto paper. Grab a journal, a notepad, or even the Notes app on your phone and do a quick brain dump. Write down anything, lingering tasks, worries, thoughts, things you don't want to forget. The act of writing signals to your brain that it doesn't have to hold on to this anymore. It's handled, it's written down. This one habit alone can drastically improve your sleep because it frees your mind from the loop of unfinished thoughts. And finally, reset. This is where you intentionally choose how you want to show up tomorrow. Instead of waking up scrambling, take a moment before bed to set your focus for the next day. Ask yourself, what are the 3 most important things I need to accomplish tomorrow? Asterisk, not 20, not 10, 3, asterisk. Write them down. This does 2 things. First, it gives you clarity so you wake up knowing exactly where to start. And second, it puts you in a proactive mindset instead of a reactive one. Most people don't do this. They wake up, look at their overflowing inbox, and let that decide what's urgent. But when you set your priorities the night before, you take back control. You're not starting your day reacting, you're starting it leading. Now, let's be real. This isn't complicated. It's not a long, drawn-out process. It takes 5 minutes. But those 5 minutes change everything. Because how you end your day determines how you start the next one. And if you're constantly feeling behind, scattered, or overwhelmed, this is where you fix it. So here's the challenge. Tonight, before you go to bed, take 5 minutes to reflect, release, and reset. Write down your wins, clear your mind, set your priorities. Do it consistently and watch how different your mornings feel. Your morning starts the night before. And if you're waking up feeling groggy, sluggish, or completely out of control, chances are you're not preparing your body and mind for rest in the way they need. Most people treat nighttime like a free-for-all. They eat heavy meals late, stay up scrolling on their phone, binge watch television until their eyes hurt, and then wonder why they can't fall asleep. They wake up exhausted, hitting snooze over and over, trying to steal a few extra minutes of rest that never actually help. And then they drag themselves into the day, fueled by caffeine and chaos, feeling completely out of sync. But it doesn't have to be that way. You can train your body to fall asleep easily, sleep deeply, and wake up feeling refreshed. You just need the right routine to signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. Because here's the truth. Your body craves consistency. It wants to follow a rhythm. And when you create a simple, repeatable nighttime routine, you take back control of your sleep and your energy. So let's break it down. What should your nighttime routine actually include? It's not complicated. In fact, the best nighttime routines are simple because the goal is to create less stimulation, not more. You don't need a 20-step wellness ritual or an hour-long meditation session. You just need a handful of key habits that signal to your brain. We are shutting down for the night. Asterisk. First, set a hard stop for work and stimulation. Asterisk, asterisk. Your brain is not a machine. You can't go from high-intensity work, stressful emails, or a heated conversation straight into deep sleep. It doesn't work that way. Your nervous system needs time to transition. That means setting a clear boundary, at least 1 hour before bed, cut off work, cut off screens, and step away from anything that ramps up your stress levels. This tells your brain the day is done, you are safe, you can relax now. Next, create a physical wind-down habit. Asterisk, asterisk, your body responds to routine. It craves signals that tell it what's coming next. This could be as simple as taking a warm shower, putting on comfortable pajamas, or doing light stretching. When you repeat the same physical cues night after night, your brain starts to automatically associate them with sleep. It's like training your body to expect rest at a certain time. Then dim the lights and lower the temperature. Asterisk, asterisk, your body's natural sleep cycle is triggered by darkness and cool temperatures, bright overhead lights, and warm rooms. Trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to wind down. 1 hour before bed, start turning off bright lights and switch to warm, dim lighting instead. If you want to fall asleep faster, drop the temperature in your room to around 65 to 68 DU4F, 18 to 20 DU4C. This small change helps your body naturally produce melatonin, your sleep hormone. Now, let's talk about what you put into your body. Asterisk, asterisk. So many people sabotage their sleep by eating heavy meals too late or drinking alcohol before bed. They think a nightcap will help them relax, but what it actually does is disrupt their sleep cycle, causing restless nights and early wake-ups. Instead of loading up on sugar or alcohol, stick to light, easy-to-digest foods in the evening, and if you need something before bed, opt for herbal tea or a small protein-rich snack. Finally, train your brain with a consistent bedtime. Asterisk, asterisk. This is where most people go wrong. They treat bedtime like a flexible suggestion rather than a schedule. One night it's 10 p.m., the next it's 1 a.m., and because of this inconsistency, their body never learns when to shut down properly. If you want to feel amazing in the morning, you need to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Yes, even when you don't feel like it. Yes, even when it's tempting to stay up late. When you stick to a set sleep schedule, your body naturally starts producing melatonin at the right